A little bit and talk about the word artisan and what that means. And an artisan is defined as a person or a group of people highly skilled in a craft. And so I have just a couple of statements about artisans that I'm going to make, and then just would love for you either to agree or disagree if they resonate with your particular process. But here's the first statement. Artisans like to use or handle raw materials. So I'm interested to hear about your relationship with your the materials, the tools that you use, and how that plays itself out. Who wants to start us out? Kip. Because one of the things that really interests me about what you had to say was that I love this idea of broken things, discarded things. And so, is that a raw material? I just would love to kind of have you share.
Well, it is for me.
Yeah.
You know the
How
phrase,
so?
one man's trash is another man's treasure. Yes.
Yeah.
I like to look for stuff. I dig through trash. I go through. I can't pass a garage sale without stopping. I used to just do that constantly, but lately I've started to show a little bit of discipline. Yes, I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. A little discipline is helpful in editing and all of that. But raw material, I still I think that in visual art, people, when they think of the phrase raw material, they think of something nice that you obtain from a store, like pretty tubes of paint and nice canvases that you stretch. Well, my art supply store is a dumpster or an antique shop. And I think it's interesting to see that in an actor, I would imagine that your raw material is your own experience in life. So for all of us, it can be something different, and so I guess understanding what your material is a really important part of that process. For me, I tried to be a painter. I was always a very mediocre painter. I'm a fairly good trash guy, so there's that. You just have sometimes you have to find not only the thing that you want to do, but what you need to use in order to accomplish that.
Yeah,
so
that's good. And I remember you saying too that you would take stuff and then totally destroy it and demolish it.
Oh well, no. I like stuff. Huh?
It's more caught.
Yeah. No, I like to find things that are already broken. Because that's the stuff that's usually the cheapest. That's the stuff that nobody else wants. So if I go to an antique shop, I don't like. I will. Okay. I hate it when people buy beautiful old books and then rip them up to make some crappy collage. Okay, you're gonna make a crappy collage. Get a book that's already falling apart. Please don't ruin a good book. So if people are gonna destroy something in order to make their work, they're on my bad list. Okay, there's plenty of stuff that's already broken out there. Take something broken and give it a new life by making something out of that broken thing. And if you're going to take something that's great and good and ruin it for your artwork, then
How do you really feel?
We'll talk more later.
Okay, all right. No, that's great. I love it. I love it. Alicia.
Yeah, I was thinking about raw materials as you were saying that, and I order most of my supplies from a catalog, and it comes in this neat little packaging, and so I don't think of myself initially as an artist who uses raw materials, but I've used the word raw to describe my art process a lot. So I think I can say that the emotions that I pour into my work usually feel very raw, and especially I think for the best work I've done, it's been in the place where I feel the most raw. I feel the maybe the least put together, or the least calm, or the least safe maybe. And in those moments where maybe I'm dealing with deep sadness, or deep fears, or uncertainties, or just thinking about things that we all think about as humans, like death, and also like deep joy and deep contentment. That's where I think digging into those things there's just something in that for me where it just like pours out into the canvas. And that feels really raw. I leave my studio a lot just feeling really drained.
That's good. Good perspective. Kyle.
Back to the tearing apart. So all my paintings are made that way. I'll go back to the raw material part, but so all these paintings are painted like a one-color painting of the thing, and then they're torn apart with a trowel, so like you can't find it anymore, and then they're put back together. So I think I had a professor maybe 20-something years ago that talked about the process of erasing is as valuable as keep adding and adding and adding. And sometimes you find way more interesting, your work is more interesting by the things that you take away rather than the things you put on. So I think that's an integral part of my work. The other thing I was thinking about when you were talking was the idea of in the way that you conduct is a very like the choir is right there with you. There's like a very intimate, like close, this could go awesome, this could fall apart at any second. You know, like there's a real energy of like really on the edge of your seat, watch, and if you're not watching, you're gonna poke out, or you know what I mean?
Right.
And my work is like that, so it's very intuitive, and I don't know what I'm doing before I start, and in the process of making it, it finds itself, and anytime it could be nothing or it could be everything.
And then, so how do you know when a piece is finished?
You just know, you're going to feel it. Yeah, I think a lot of times in school, you're like, you had a really great painting, and then you did too much and screwed it up. You know?
That's good. Kate.
I thinking about raw materials, it very often starts potentially with a script, with or a children's book, as the case may be, but it's words, it's phrases, it's sounds, and it's human experience of my own, kind of like, you know, people who live with a writer live in dread of becoming one of their characters. I study people. I mean, you know, I'm that person who, if you have a conversation with them, no, I'm watching your facial features, I'm watching your tics, I'm that person who's like, oh, someday I'm gonna have a character and that's gonna be a Rick Cobb.
Great, I'm in.
It's gonna be a Rick Cobb someday.
I'm gonna stay inside more.
Yeah, no, it's already there. But so I mean, it's kind of like always finding things even when I'm not even looking for raw materials, and kind of constantly being aware of whatever's around. So kind of looking for those weird opportunistic things that, oh hey, you know, there's a broken clock or something. What can I do with that? Oh, that person walks with a limp. I wonder, you know, how that affects how they speak and how they interact, and kind of being curious about that stuff.
That's good. Okay, here's